Warning, if you are claustrophobic, you are going to hate this onboard. So we're going to go on board at the Russian Grand Prix. We're going to look at the first lap incident. Not the one probably everyone's talking about. That one's next. But this one I thought was really interesting. I saw it happen real time because like on the first lap, I always look at the midfield. So you guys know the deal. Let's talk onboard. I need about 30 seconds of blah, blah in the beginning, so they'll let me keep it up. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to like, subscribe. And I'm going to keep this one short, but looks like it's a good time. So let's jump over to the onboard now. Let's pull up the screen. Here we go. So this is Antonio Giovinazzi. This was with the incident between Giovinazzi. Ricciardo got the puncture, and it looked like Grosjean was probably the ultimate payer of all this, which ironically, I defend Grosjean a lot when you look at the data and his DNFs. They're mostly mechanical this year. He's got the reputation, of course, but Crashmaster himself was not at fault today. So no one is at fault, in my opinion, when you look at this close. But we're going to look at it from all three perspectives, just an incident. But Antonio Giovinazzi basically loses all space to move. He just gets squeezed so quintessentially perfect from the racing standpoint. So they go into the corner. At this point, it's very, very close, and I'll get into Grosjean's view next. You can see there was already a little bit of a touch and go, and you see both of the Haas go wide. So it's in this corner. So as you can tell from this screen, so first of all, the drivers, if he'll take a look, but Ricciardo's especially known for diving. So he'll dive down the inside and just go full send. If Giovinazzi's executing a turn, he's not going to look in his mirror. He's going to check it, the braking. He's going to, okay, we're safe. Okay, I see Ricciardo's behind me. But Ricciardo is a master at this overtake, so that's when he starts to go, shoot, okay, I'm squeezed. So he can't pump on the brakes and go left, or he can't go left because you've got Grosjean right here. So just off to your left, let me move the screen a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. So you've got Grosjean right there. You see the front of his wheel, and that's all really Giovinazzi can see as well. So, and you've got Ricciardo right there. So you can see his wing, but this is only zoomed in a tad. That's all he can really see. So as we go a little bit further, Giovinazzi is screwed. And in his head, he's going, oh God, I can't go anywhere. And yeah, in his mirror, look, their mirrors are almost touching right here. So, you know, he's already screwed. He knows his race is likely going to be over. And, you know, like I said, he's claustrophobic. It's over for him. He's having panic attacks. So he's turning his wheel. He's doing what he can. We'll go a little bit further. And Grosjean doesn't really have any space to do anything either, because Grosjean's ahead of him. From his perspective, it looks like he gets kind of just swiped. And actually the same thing with Ricciardo. So we're going to go to all three of their onboards because they all have a case. And I'm going to talk about getting air, man. Look at that. So what are we at? 53. So let's go to like 48. So check out. So he'll dive down the side. So he sees Renault, late dive, bang, just takes off Grosjean here. So that's going to be in Drive to Survive. We all know it. Hopefully they don't take this video down because I just said that. But spin out. He just goes about his day like nothing happened. So I think Giovinazzi, like in terms of who's at fault, definitely not Giovinazzi. In my opinion, none of them. So let's go over to this is just a very, very bad, unlucky incident for all three. Let's go to Ricciardo's, just because there was really nothing he can do either. He made a really good dive, like I said, a late dive. In my opinion, it's there. He can make it. He can make that corner. I don't think Giovinazzi did anything purposeful. But Giovinazzi can't even move to the left if he wanted to, because Grosjean ultimately, again, takes the edge. So anyone who's saying it's Grosjean's fault, I would love to see you make a video because I don't see it. And we'll go to Grosjean next, but definitely not Ricciardo's fault. Let me move the screen over a little bit so you can get a better view of his line. He's got a pretty clear line, right? Like he can make that. He thinks he's going to follow right behind Magnussen. Bang. Nope, no, you're not. So he gets swiped, and he's probably going to watch him go by like, oh, that was Giovinazzi, wasn't it? Well, really, both of you squeezed Giovinazzi. So now let's go to Grosjean's, who's just the most unfortunate view. And we're actually going to back it up to 842 because I think that's when the first, oh, slam. So let's go to the first, let's go to the first little incident. And I want to see him going wide because you've already got basically the breadcrumbs already laid out. And both Magnussen and Grosjean kind of have to pop out right here. He starts to turn in. Like there's room to him. There's room for a car, but probably not two cars. That's not his fault. There's no way he can know there's two cars diving on the inside of him. And that's the point where Giovinazzi's just like, what do you want me to do? So Giovinazzi's right there in that position where he can't even move at all. So we'll do it again. We'll see the approach. Fair. He can see he's yielding the line. That's the line. He's just off it. He's leaving space. I think that line is fine. And he hits pretty hard. So I'm going to cut it off right before because he loses some language. But yeah, when you look at this, this isn't a situation where it's someone's fault. I just want to show this because, again, it's interesting. I think people will jump to a conclusion. I don't want that to happen. Yeah, I could be the American F1 fan. Yeah, everyone can say that. But, Haas is an American F1 team. But at the end of the day, this isn't like something where it's, this isn't something where it's like the typical American defending the American. No, this is not Grosjean's fault. He left one car space. There was no one in that path, and he got unfairly squeezed due to Ricciardo diving fairly. I think there was a little bit of room for him, and in a perfect world, Giovinazzi probably would have moved over, given him a bit more, considering Ricciardo did have a pretty well-executed late dive, and Giovinazzi just was like, what do you guys want me to do? Can't go left, can't go right. Can't slam on the brakes because then I'll spin two and probably knock both of you out too. So just one of those things where, can't really do anything about it. But I thought this was an interesting view from all three perspectives. I didn't know Grosjean got that much air. That's pretty gnarly, actually. So I'm going to start I'm going to finish the work that's already done on the Leclerc Vettel stuff. So I'm going to show that on board here in a second. And that one's going to be interesting and probably everyone's going to hate it, but that's okay. I think you all should see it because we don't talk about it enough, and they didn't really show it. Well, they didn't show it at all, how Vettel... I'll reserve judgment. So, video coming soon. I'll stop there. Thanks for checking this out. Like, subscribe, and share the video, please. That's probably the most powerful thing you can do. If you like this, share it. Thanks, guys.